Hey, Matt, have you ever thought about how great it is to be a Pirates fan right about now?
You know, Fred, even in the bad times, I was proud to be a Pirates fan. That's when the team needed us the most. You have to have faith.
Young Matt, you really are wise beyond your years. Well done.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy, cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking son to son, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's my best friend. La la, ba da 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 ya, ba da 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 ba, ba da 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 ya.
Welcome back to Bucco Banter. I'm Fred Rossano.
And I'm Matt Peaslee.
Well, Matt, a pretty good first week for the Buccos. They went 5-2, and some good starting pitching other than Morton the other day, and overall some timely hitting.
Yeah, that's what we kind of need for this season. Just the other night when we score 4 runs right off the bat in the top of the first inning, Charlie Morton struggles on the mound a little bit. Cubs end up tying it right away, kind of a back-and-forth game. But we were able to collect a lot of key hits together, really good plate discipline. In the end, Russell Martin gets that sacrifice fly clutch hit to bring in the winning run, and we win it 7-6. I mean, in years past, you might not have seen that, especially when the pitching falters. But it was nice that the offense kind of picked up the pitching there, when in years past it was the pitching that kind of had to pick up the struggling offense. So it was kind of good to see us put it all together. The Pirates really looked good that first week. I mean, we take 2 or 3 from the Cubs at home, take 2 or 3 from the defending National League Championship Cardinals, win 2 games against them, and they're looking pretty good to start their first road trip at Wrigley Field against the Cubs.
Don't mean to complain, but I will. It worries me when you win one-run games. On the other hand, they're doing something that they didn't do last year for a long stretch, where they had a sacrifice fly to knock in a run. I forget what it was. I think it was 26 games or something before Gabby Sanchez, I think, did it. But they're doing that this year so far. They're getting some really timely sacrifice flies and stuff to get some runs in that way, and that's a team that really needs that type of scoring.
Right, but plate discipline too. And just the other night, I think Pedro Alvarez and Starling Marte draw a walk in the same inning. Usually those two guys are swinging at everything, but that's kind of what you need out of your leadoff guy in Marte, and kind of what you need out of your power hitter.
Marte's been doing pretty well there with, I think he's up to 3 or 4 walks already, and I think he only had barely a couple handfuls last year over the whole season. But on the other hand, a little bit of bad news with Jameson Taillon.
Right, it was a great opening week for us, record-wise, for the Pirates with the big league club, but we hear about Jameson Taillon, the number 2 prospect in the system, one of the best pitching prospects in all of Major League Baseball. Had some elbow problems that we were kind of worried about over the past couple weeks. They finally came out and said that he will be shut down for a year and getting that Tommy John surgery. It's probably good that he's getting it done as a 22-year-old as opposed to a 28-year-old in the prime of his career, but it's still going to set him back a little bit because he was supposed to be in Pittsburgh by June. We were thinking that he'd be in the rotation, but he's just going to have to get some rest for a year and come back and see what he can do.
We'll cross our fingers. It was, I think, Morton came back 1 year and 1 day after he had the surgery. Right. So we'll cross our fingers that Taillon will be back by about the same time. It's become a pretty common surgery, unfortunately. A lot of these guys get it.
Yeah, with about a third of the Major League pitchers have had Tommy John surgery. Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals is a big name who's come back. The New York Mets rotation, I think there's about 2 or 3 guys that are undergoing Tommy John surgery just this year. So, unfortunately, it is a common theme, but hopefully that doesn't end these guys' careers, and hopefully it makes them even stronger than they were before they had the elbow problems.
But overall, a 5-2 week. That's pretty darn good. That would compute out to, if you get 5 out of every 7 wins. Quick, Matt, what is that?
Carry the 3. Fred, I don't know.
We're Bucco fans. We're not mathematicians here.
No. But, it was a great start. And especially what's so nice is all these games are against Central Leagues or NL Central opponents, the first 26 games. So if we can win as many of those, pick up some early ground, and there'll be these games early in the season will definitely help.
Yeah, they count just as much as the games at the end of the season.
Sure.
I mean, people overlook that. But, I mean, you could say it's a meaningless series, but it is and it isn't. But hopefully we'll have another at least 5-2 week.
I'll take it.
It's time for the wildly popular Bucco Show and Tell. Matt, what do you got for us today?
My favorite. Well, Fred, I was digging through some of my father's old baseball cards in our basement. Found a John Candelaria card from 1976. It's on cardboard. It's really kind of old-fashioned. Can you tell me anything about the Candyman?
Oh, yeah, the Candyman was a heck of a pitcher for the Pirates for quite a few years. In fact, he pitched a no-hitter. I can't remember who he pitched it against, but he was a good lefty for. I think he ended his career with the Pirates, if I remember correctly.
All right. And out of my own personal collection, I just got this the other day, a Garrett Cole card from this year's Topps collection. I mean, Garrett Cole just had an excellent rookie year. Maybe he can have a career like John Candelaria did.
Potentially, he should have a chance at throwing a no-hitter or two through his career if he stays healthy.
Yep. John Candelaria, it's like the old and the new. Kind of John Candelaria's the old, Garrett Cole's the new, kind of like you and me.
I think I would prefer to call it the wily veteran and the young whippersnapper.
Well, it's now time for Pittsburgh Pirates Stats Central. Just on our first week of the season, Starling Marte is batting at a .310 batting average. His on-base plus slugging percentage is a 1.89. Travis Ishikawa is really hitting off the charts with a 1.72.
Oh, I'm so sick of hearing about stats. That's all we hear about anymore in baseball and all sports and all walks of life. It all comes down to what you do in a certain situation. What does stats have to do with a certain pitcher against a certain hitter?
Well, Garrett Cole has.
I understand the fact that, okay, this is a lefty on the mound. This is a lefty hitter. The lefty hitter is not going to be as successful against a lefty batter. But if you go ahead and if you don't hit a spot as a lefty or a righty, that left-handed hitter is going to pound the ball. I'm so sick of hearing they have shows on TV of talking about WAR and wins above replacement.
But those
sabermetrics. Do you know what sabermetrics even means?
That's not the point.
Yeah, it is the point. In a certain situation, it is not going to work if you don't hit the corners of the plate or you don't pitch the ball where you want it to be pitched.
Statistically, that reaction was not supposed to happen. Fred, my inbox has been full all week with people emailing and texting me questions for Bucco QA. I mean, they've been really wanting some answers for some critical Pirate questions.
People stopping me on the street,
Jeez. Too. We're just the two most popular guys in town.
I know.
We got to give the people what they want.
All right.
You ready? Put that thinking cap on.
All right. I'll go first this time. Oh, man. Okay.
Now here's one that really we can't sleep at night with this one. Will the Pirates extend or re-sign a current player to a long-term contract this season? I mean, they've already done Marte, but will anybody else kind of ink something?
I know they want. I have a feeling they've already tried with Alvarez, and it's a no-go on that. I would love to see them try to extend Liriano for like 2 or 3 years. He's still only, I think, 29 or 30, and has some good years ahead of him. I think. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot with till the end of the year. Maybe Neil Walker's another one that's kind of iffy there.
Yeah, by the end of this season, there's going to be a lot of question marks about what players are coming and what players are staying.
Yep. Make this a good one. Got my thinking cap on.
This is cut and dry right here. How many games will the Pirates win this year? Question everybody's been wanting to know.
I'm going to say 87.
Playoffs?
I think it'll be close. It's going to come down to the wild card again.
My turn.
I think that this thing really works good. Okay.
Okay,
go.
fire away.
Okay, let's go. Who will be the best starting pitcher for the Pirates this year?
I think it's going to be Francisco Liriano, most consistent guy last year, most consistent guy. I mean, so far on the young season this year. If I had to say a backup number 2, I think it's going to be Edison Volquez. I liked what I saw.
Whoa,
I liked what I saw out of him from his first start against the Cardinals
surprise
of
there.
all teams. So I think he's going to be right up there neck and neck, and maybe outpitch Cole this year. But I think he's going to be some guy that they can definitely rely on more than we thought so at the beginning of the year.
I think if Volquez winds up having a good year, that's going to go a long way to other pitchers or signing with the Pirates. Thinking Ray Series can do wonders.
That's right. So far, so good. Even though it's just been one game for him, but so far, so good.
Go to number 2. Who will be the Pirates' starting right fielder on July 1st? Will it be Gregory Polanco? Will there still be a platoon? Or someone else?
Well, so far this season, we've seen Travis Snyder in 6 of their 7 games. I think that Talbot is going to have to be a bench player most of the time. There really hasn't been a platoon so far. And Travis Snyder's done okay. He's getting on base so far earlier in the season. So I think Snyder's still going to kind of keep Polanco down in AAA, maybe even longer than July 1st. I think Snyder can still be an everyday right fielder, and I think by July 1st, we will still see Travis Snyder as our everyday right fielder. Well, keep those questions coming because we love putting on this thinking cap and answering your questions. It really helps, doesn't
Oh,
it?
it sure does.
Yeah, but we're getting hounded for questions, but we still have time and space for yours. So keep emailing, keep texting, and we'll answer them next time on Bucco Banter.
See you next time. And it's time, once again,
Okay, keep going.
for the enormously popular.
All right, stop. 4, 3, 2.
And it's time for the enormously
I'm
popular
sorry.
only game in town. But some interesting little cards there, John. This is bad. Can you just cut it?
Yeah, just kind of.